Upon reaching the road en route to Kumrat Valley at midnight, we were apprehended again by military checkpoint and as usual were told to go back. We were informed that Kumrat Valley is currently closed for visitors due to pandemic. Since it is the peak days of Eid al-Adha holidays, the government feared the deadly spread of the virus. Running out of option in the middle of the night, we just decided to camp out along the road to spend the night and later decided to change destination target instead. This time the plan is to proceed to Chitral Valley instead of the Kumrat Valley. Personally, I initially welcomed this change of plan because I was also excited to see those Kalash people of the Chitral Valley. Their viral videos that I saw on YouTube were more than enough to excite me. In the meantime, we are stopping here in this part of Upper Dir to wash and brush teeth before continuing our journey to Chitral Valley. For now, Mr. Suzuki, parked on the other side of the road, is just doing fine. Akif revealed that his contract with the Ta'ullah for the service of Mr. Suzuki is 1,000 Pakistani rupees per day, while Akif pays for all the petrol charges for the trip. As the saying goes, where there is water, there is fun. Salman just turned his sherwal or pants into a lamp, a traditional men's swimming trunks. Everywhere in the province of the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, seeing men in lamp, just like Salman does here, is common in men's swimming pools. This is prevalent in Pashtun or Pashtun culture. Just in case you are curious who the leader of the gang is, this man calls the shot here. He is no other than Akifullah, a 25-year-old unmarried young man who previously worked as a family driver in Dubai of the United Arab Emirates. He had stopped working overseas after the lockdown imposed by his host country due to coronavirus. This time around, however, Akif, as we call him for short, is not driving a vehicle but acting as the boss. This is because this out-of-town gig is sponsored by his father, who also works in the Emirates to support his family and generously gave out money for this out-of-town trip. We now arrive in this Lowari Tunnel. It's a 4.4 kilometer tunnel that was made to bypass the dangerous Lowari Mountains that we see high up there. The entry to this tunnel is by schedule, so we now see this fleet of cars waiting for the turn to get into that deep passage. The people manning this tunnel must ensure that the passage is safe before a batch of vehicles can get through. The use of mobile phones is also strictly prohibited for the drivers. As we can see from that blue signboard above the gate of the tunnel, Chitral, our target destination, is still 80 kilometers from this point if we have to pass this tunnel for a shortcut. And it will take us forever to travel to Chitral if we use the old road atop the mountain. Surprisingly, for an unknown reason, Akif made an abrupt decision that we skip the tunnel and use the dangerous mountain road instead. We are now passing one of the most dangerous roads in the whole of Pakistan. This is a true definition of a road to perdition. Yet, at the same time, a ride on this difficult road is truly exhilarating. Yes, we'll see the dangers ahead of us, but we can help marvel at the beauty of the surroundings that we pass through. Ataullah, our driver, will have no room for mistakes. Otherwise, it will certainly cost our lives. As we pass this extremely difficult road, most of us had to get down the vehicle and push on Mr. Suzuki forward, as he could hardly climb the mostly steep and winding narrow roads. This Lowari Pass, or Lowari Top, has an elevation of 230 feet above sea level. It is a high mountain pass that connects Chitral with Dir. This place is closed by snow from late November to late May every year. During this time, jeeps cannot cross, so men must travel by foot. This is dangerous as there are high mountains on each side of Lowari Top, and a deadly avalanche can come at any moment without warning. It is always reported that every winter, a few persons are killed by avalanches while crossing Lowari Top. Their bodies are buried under the snow, and it is only when the summer comes and the snow melts that their bodies are found and their fate learned. Upon reaching the peak of Lowari Pass, we stopped by to prepare for lunch. We stayed there for a few hours after mealtime until boss Akif received a call from a friend who is serving in the military, giving him a tip that we can now proceed to Kumrat. And so we drove back to Upper Dir Town to spend the night in Akif's relative's home and to proceed to Kumrat in the morning of the next day. This morning, before breakfast, the boys indulged themselves in a board game. The locals call this game Ludo. This game is a favorite among tea drinkers in most of the cafes all over the country. This gentleman, whom we forgot to ask for his name, just volunteered to drive us back to where we left Mr. Suzuki. At the back seat with happy faces are Izaz, Shuaib and Sultan, starting from the left. Because the house where we spent the night was too steep for Mr. Suzuki to climb, we just left him at the neighbor's house nearby. Today, on the third day of our trip, we are about to proceed to Kumrat. However, Ataullah informed us earlier that Mr. Suzuki needs brakes replacement. His two brakes are now malfunctioned and rendered useless, so a repair is needed. We have to get to a repair shop again to fix Mr. Suzuki before we can finally go to Kumrat Valley. Last night, as we passed by this place, I felt to see exactly how hilly this road was. It was so dark that we could hardly see the road ahead of us. We didn't even see any electrical posts standing with a functioning light on the roadside, and only Mr. Suzuki's headlights were showing us the way up. Oftentimes, we had to get down and push Mr. Suzuki forward. As a matter of fact, there were more pushings than rides with Mr. Suzuki in going up the hill. But this morning, I just saw how gorgeous this hilly community village is. As we woke up, we were greeted by the freshness of the air and a panoramic view of the mountains above the houses. The climate in this province varies with elevation. The mountain ranges experience cold winters and cool summers, and temperatures rise markedly toward the south. Precipitation over the province is variable, but averages roughly 16 inches or 400 mm annually, with much of this occurring during the period from January to April. The province's economy is essentially agricultural, even though the mountainous terrain is not favorable to extensive cultivation. Irrigation is carried out on about 1/3 of the cultivated land. Wheat, corn, sugarcane, and tobacco are the major crops. The principal industries are the manufacture of refining of sugar, the canning and preservation of fruits and vegetables, tobacco processing, and the manufacture of small farms and accessories. Other products are cotton, textiles, cement, ghee or clarified butter, furniture, and milled grains.